a quick shout out to my brother Tim. How you feeling at ABFF?
Hey, shout out to everybody that came to support independent black films. Shout out to Jeff Friday and ABFF for providing the platform for black filmmakers. Shout out to my cast, to my crew, to my producers, to everybody on my team for iFilm. And hey man, the glory should go to God. I appreciate the love, but y'all keep on doing y'all shit. You feel me?
Yeah! Let's go! Hands up there! 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 Hands up! Ready to check.
T.I. just shut down the American Black Film Festival, and the energy in that room when he stepped out is allegedly still being talked about by everyone who was there. The American Black Film Festival just celebrated its 30th anniversary homecoming edition, and if you know anything about what ABFF represents in the culture, you understand why that milestone carries the kind of weight that goes far beyond a party. 30 years of intentionally creating space for Black storytellers, Black filmmakers, Black creatives, and Black excellence in an industry that has allegedly spent decades gatekeeping who gets to tell which stories and on whose terms. For ABFF to reach its 30th year is not just an organizational achievement. It is a testament to the people who showed up every single year and built something that the industry eventually had to reckon with rather than ignore. And the Legacy Edition White Party that closed out this year's celebration was reportedly nothing short of legendary. The word legendary is getting thrown around a lot in those comment sections, and reportedly for good reason. This was not a routine industry event. This was a homecoming, their own word, their own framing, which means it was explicitly designed to feel like a return to something that matters, a reunion of people who have built something real together across 3 decades. The energy that produces is allegedly impossible to manufacture. You cannot put together an event brief that creates the feeling of 30 years of community in the same room. Either it is there, or it isn't. And by all accounts, on this particular night, it absolutely was there. Then T.I. stepped out, and the internet is spiraling. Now, let's be clear about what a T.I. surprise appearance at an event like this actually means, because the American Black Film Festival is not a hip-hop show. It is not a rap concert. It is a celebration of Black cinematic and storytelling excellence, which means when Tip steps out and delivers a surprise shout-out in that specific context, it is the culture demonstrating something important about how it connects. Music, film, storytelling, community, these are not separate lanes in the same traffic, allegedly. They are all the same road, and the people who built those roads sometimes show up for each other in spaces that the industry would never officially schedule. Word on the street is that T.I.'s appearance was exactly that kind of moment, unscripted, genuine, and loaded with the kind of love that you cannot put a marketing budget behind. Terrence J hosted the evening, and reportedly that combination, T.I. in the room, Terrence J on the mic, 30 years of ABFF in the air, created the kind of night that attendees are going to be talking about for a long time. The fan reactions have been electric in a very specific way that tells you something important about what the experience meant to the people who were actually there. One fan wrote, "Not y'all got him shaking my hand on camera, send me this." That comment right there is allegedly the most honest, most human encapsulation of what it feels like to be in the room when something legendary happens unexpectedly. The scramble for the receipt. The need to document the proof. The slightly stunned disbelief that you were actually present for it. Another comment that has been circulating. Y'all owe us nothing. Thank you for an incredible experience. See y'all next year. And that tone, the gratitude, the overflow, the already looking forward to next year energy is the signature of an event that allegedly delivered on every level. When attendees are not just satisfied but actively thankful and already committed to returning, that is not customer satisfaction. That is community. That is the difference between an industry event and a cultural institution, and ABFF has reportedly been the latter for decades, while allegedly only recently getting the full mainstream recognition that the work always deserved. Let's talk about what T.I.'s presence at ABFF specifically communicates, because the industry machinery loves to put artists in boxes and keep those boxes separate from each other. The rapper box. The actor box, the film world box, the music world box. The gatekeeping between these spaces is allegedly real and ongoing, and it has historically worked to limit who gets credited for cultural contribution and in which arenas. When T.I., who has built a career that spans music, television, acting, and activism, shows up at the American Black Film Festival's 30th anniversary and the room reportedly erupts, that is a signal that the people in that room understand something the boxes miss. Excellence in Black culture does not live in one lane. The people who contributed to 30 years of ABFF know that better than anyone. The white party format itself is worth acknowledging. There is a specific kind of Black cultural celebration that happens when people dress in white and gather together, and it carries a tradition and a symbolism that reportedly transforms a party into a statement. Everyone in the same color. Everyone equal in the visual field. The community showing up for each other without hierarchy in the dress code. Against the backdrop of 3 decades of ABFF work, that image is sending a message about what it looks like when a community celebrates itself on its own terms, in its own way, with its own rules. Fans are saying this was the kind of night that reminds you why the work matters. Not the streaming numbers or the industry deals or the award season politics, but the actual feeling of being in a room with people who are all connected by the same belief that stories told by Black people about Black people deserve to be told, celebrated, and protected. T.I. stepping out into that room was allegedly the perfect punctuation on 30 years of exactly that belief. Until next year, ABFF. You earned this one. What do you think? Does the American Black Film Festival deserve more mainstream recognition for everything it has built over 30 years? And was T.I.'s appearance the perfect way to close out the Legacy Edition? Drop it in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe because we cover the moments that actually move the culture.